Over the centuries, archaeology has unearthed more than just artifacts. It has revealed lost worlds, reshaped our understanding of human civilization, and brought ancient voices back to life. Some discoveries stunned the world with their sheer beauty. Others forced us to rewrite history books. And a few, still shrouded in mystery, continue to provoke more questions than answers. In this journey through time, we explore 10 of the greatest archaeological discoveries ever made, each a milestone in humanity's ongoing quest to understand where we come from and who we are. 1. Discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb, Egypt, 1922. In November 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter made one of the most iconic archaeological discoveries of all time, the nearly intact tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun in Egypt's Valley of the Kings. The tomb, sealed for over 3,000 years, revealed a stunning array of artifacts, golden chariots, intricate jewelry, ceremonial weapons, and the famous golden burial mask. It offered a rare, undisturbed glimpse into the wealth and burial practices of the 18th dynasty. Tutankhamun, a relatively minor pharaoh who died around the age of 19, became world-famous overnight. The find sparked global fascination with ancient Egypt and fueled the rise of Egyptomania throughout the 20th century. The discovery also gave rise to the enduring myth of the Pharaoh's Curse, after the sudden death of Carter's patron, Lord Carnarvon, and several other connected individuals, though no scientific evidence supports the claim. Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. Tutankhamun's tomb is one of the few royal tombs found almost entirely undisturbed by looters. This preservation allowed archaeologists to examine thousands of artifacts in their original context, something extremely rare in Egyptian archaeology. More importantly, the discovery reshaped public interest in Egyptology, turning ancient Egypt into a cultural phenomenon. No other single find has had such a profound and lasting impact on both scholarly research and popular imagination. Next, we travel to a stone temple buried in time, older than the pyramids, older than agriculture itself. 2. Göbekli Tepe, the world's oldest known temple, Turkey. In the arid hills of southeastern Turkey, a team led by German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt made a discovery in the 1990s that would challenge the very foundations of human history: a sprawling complex of T-shaped stone pillars carved with intricate animal figures, now known as Göbekli Tepe. Dating back to around 9600 BC, this site predates Stonehenge by over 6,000 years and is considered the oldest known temple in the world. The massive limestone pillars, some over 5 meters tall and weighing up to 20 tons, are arranged in circular formations and were intentionally buried after use, preserving them in near-perfect condition. What makes Göbekli Tepe so revolutionary is that it was built by hunter-gatherers, not settled farmers. This directly contradicts the long-held belief that religion emerged after the rise of agriculture. Here, the opposite seems to be true. Communal worship may have come first, possibly even driving the development of farming as a way to sustain large gatherings of people. Despite decades of research, the true purpose of the site remains unclear. Was it a temple, a ritual center, or a gathering place of spiritual and social significance? The lack of domestic structures and burials suggests it wasn't a village, but something more symbolic, more sacred. Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. Göbekli Tepe rewrote the timeline of civilization. It showed that early humans were capable of organizing complex construction projects long before the advent of agriculture and permanent settlements. It challenged assumptions about the relationship between religion, social structure, and technological advancement. Few discoveries have ever forced historians and archaeologists to rethink the origin of civilization itself. Göbekli Tepe is one of them. Up next, a silent army buried underground, built to guard a powerful emperor in death. 3. The Terracotta Army, China's eternal guardians. In 1974, farmers digging a well near Xi'an, in China's Shaanxi province, struck something unexpected: fragments of clay figures. What they had uncovered would soon become one of the most staggering archaeological finds of the 20th century: an entire army, crafted in terracotta, buried underground for over 2 millennia. The Terracotta Army was created to guard the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of a unified China, ruled 221 to 210 BC. Thousands of life-sized warriors, along with chariots, horses, acrobats, and officials, stand in silent formation across vast underground chambers. Each soldier is unique, sculpted with individualized facial features, hairstyles, and armor, reflecting a striking attention to realism and hierarchy. The purpose was spiritual and symbolic. Qin Shi Huang, who wielded immense power in life, sought to preserve it in death. His mausoleum complex spans over 50 square kilometers and remains only partially excavated. Ancient texts speak of rivers of mercury and a replica of the cosmos sealed within the emperor's tomb, which has never been opened due to concerns over preservation and safety. Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. The scale and craftsmanship of the Terracotta Army are unprecedented. It reveals the extraordinary organizational capacity of ancient China. Thousands of workers, sculptors, and artisans coordinated over years to construct a burial project that reflected imperial might and afterlife beliefs. It also offers unmatched insight into military practices, social order, and funerary rituals of the Qin dynasty. Beyond that, it captures the timeless human desire for immortality and protection beyond the grave. Next, we move from soldiers in clay to scrolls in caves, ancient writings that lay hidden for nearly 2,000 years. 4. The Dead Sea Scrolls, echoes from the ancient world. In 1947, in the dry cliffs near Qumran by the Dead Sea, a Bedouin shepherd searching for a stray goat stumbled upon a cave. Inside, he found clay jars filled with old scrolls, fragile, faded, and wrapped in linen. What seemed like an odd curiosity turned out to be one of the most important archaeological discoveries in history: the Dead Sea Scrolls. Eventually, 11 caves yielded over 900 manuscripts, including texts from the Hebrew Bible, sectarian writings, and apocalyptic prophecies. These scrolls date from the 3rd century BC to the 1st century CE, making them the oldest known biblical texts in existence. Written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, the scrolls shed new light on Jewish religious thought, the diversity of beliefs during the Second Temple period, and the roots of Christianity. They include previously unknown psalms, detailed community rules, and interpretations of biblical prophecies. Some texts even offer alternate versions of known scriptures, showing how fluid religious writings were before canonization. The identity of the authors remains debated. Were they Essenes, an apocalyptic sect? Or a broader community seeking refuge from Roman oppression? While scholars may not agree on every detail, the scrolls have dramatically deepened our understanding of ancient faith, politics, and culture. Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. The Dead Sea Scrolls bridged a critical gap in textual history. They pushed back the timeline of biblical manuscripts by 1,000 years and confirmed the remarkable consistency and surprising variations within sacred texts over time. Their discovery not only advanced the fields of archaeology and theology, but sparked global interest and intense scholarly collaboration that continues today. These fragile scraps of parchment opened a direct window into the spiritual and political world of ancient Judea. Next, we journey to a city frozen in ash, a Roman tragedy preserved in terrifying detail. 5. Pompeii, the city that time forgot. In 79 CE, Mount Vesuvius erupted with catastrophic force, burying the Roman cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum under a suffocating wave of ash, pumice, and toxic gas. For centuries, Pompeii lay forgotten, its buildings entombed, its people frozen in their final moments. Rediscovered in the 18th century and excavated more thoroughly in the 19th and 20th, Pompeii offers an unparalleled snapshot of daily life in ancient Rome. Entire streets, homes, shops, bathhouses, and fresco-covered walls have been uncovered, remarkably preserved under meters of volcanic debris. Plaster casts of victims, men, women, children, even pets, show the haunting positions in which they died, capturing their agony and desperation in real time. Yet beyond tragedy, Pompeii reveals the richness of Roman life: bakeries with ovens still intact, graffiti on walls, amphorae of wine and olive oil, and elaborate murals that hint at both public luxury and private pleasure. Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. Pompeii is not a monument, it is a city paused mid-breath. Unlike other ruins reconstructed from fragments, Pompeii was preserved by disaster, offering a uniquely detailed and intimate view of ancient urban life. Its discovery revolutionized archaeology by allowing scholars to study a full Roman city in context, from infrastructure and commerce to art and sexuality. Few sites have humanized the ancient world so vividly, or reminded us so powerfully of nature's fury. From volcanic ash, we now turn to silent stones and circles, mysterious megaliths whose true purpose still eludes us. 6. Stonehenge, the timeless mystery of the megaliths. Rising from the rolling green fields of Salisbury Plain in southern England, Stonehenge has stood in silent grandeur for over 4,000 years. Composed of massive standing stones, some weighing up to 25 tons, arranged in concentric circles, this prehistoric monument has puzzled archaeologists, astronomers, and historians for centuries. Constructed between 3000 BC and 1600 BC, the exact methods used to transport and erect the stones remain a subject of ongoing study. Some of the stones were transported from quarries in Wales, over 140 miles away, long before the invention of the wheel. What was its purpose? Theories abound: a celestial observatory, a burial ground, a healing center, or a temple aligned with solstices and lunar cycles. Excavations have revealed cremated remains, ceremonial objects, and evidence of seasonal gatherings. During the summer solstice, the sun rises in perfect alignment with the heel stone, suggesting deep astronomical knowledge among its builders. Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. Stonehenge is a global icon of mystery. Its endurance across millennia, combined with its architectural precision and unknown purpose, makes it one of the most studied yet least understood ancient monuments. More than just a structure, it symbolizes humanity's earliest attempts to understand time, death, and the cosmos. Its influence stretches far beyond Britain, standing as a universal emblem of prehistoric ingenuity and spiritual ambition. Next, we follow a trail of language lost and found, etched in stone, and key to decoding an entire civilization. 7. The Rosetta Stone, unlocking the language of ancient Egypt. In 1799, during Napoleon's campaign in Egypt, a French soldier near the town of Rosetta, modern-day Rashid, uncovered a large black basalt slab inscribed with 3 scripts: Greek, Demotic, and Egyptian hieroglyphs. This artifact, soon known as the Rosetta Stone, would become the key that unlocked the language of the pharaohs. The stone, dated to 196 BC, contains a decree issued during the reign of Ptolemy V. Because the same text was written in 3 languages, 2 of which were known, linguists could use it to begin deciphering hieroglyphs, a script that had been a mystery for over 1,000 years. The breakthrough came thanks to French scholar Jean-François Champollion, who, in 1822, announced he had cracked the code. By comparing the names of royal figures in the Greek and hieroglyphic versions, he was able to map phonetic symbols and reconstruct the broader language system. Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. The Rosetta Stone did not just solve a puzzle, it opened a civilization. With it, scholars could finally read tomb inscriptions, temple carvings, and papyri that had been indecipherable for centuries. It laid the foundation for modern Egyptology and transformed static ruins into a living, readable history. Few artifacts have had such a transformative effect on an entire field of study. The Rosetta Stone became not only a scholarly triumph, but a symbol of how language can bridge worlds. Now we journey to the clouds of the Andes, where a forgotten city once stood above the sky. 8. Machu Picchu, the lost city of the Inca. High in the Andes Mountains of Peru, shrouded in mist and perched atop a narrow ridge between two peaks, lies one of the world's most breathtaking archaeological sites, Machu Picchu. Often called the lost city of the Inca, it remained hidden from the outside world until 1911, when American historian Hiram Bingham was led to the site by local villagers. Built in the 15th century during the reign of Inca Emperor Pachacuti, Machu Picchu is an architectural marvel. It includes over 150 stone structures, temples, residences, terraces, and fountains, all constructed with dry stone walls so precisely fitted that not even a blade of grass can slip between the stones. What makes the site remarkable is its remote location, nearly 8,000 feet above sea level, and its integration into the natural landscape. The city appears to mirror celestial alignments, with structures built to align with the solstices and the surrounding mountains considered sacred in Inca cosmology. Despite its grandeur, Machu Picchu was never discovered by Spanish conquistadors, which helped preserve it in astonishing condition. Its purpose remains debated. Was it a royal estate, a ceremonial center, or a sacred retreat? Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. Machu Picchu is a testament to the ingenuity and spirituality of the Inca civilization. Its rediscovery sparked international fascination and brought global attention to the complexity of pre-Columbian cultures in the Americas. It has become a symbol of indigenous achievement, resilience, and harmony with nature. As both an engineering feat and a sacred space, Machu Picchu continues to captivate scholars and travelers alike. Next, we descend into the ruins of an ancient library, where thousands of clay tablets preserve the wisdom of empires long forgotten. 9. The Library of Ashurbanipal, the oldest known library. Beneath the sands of ancient Nineveh, once the glittering capital of the Assyrian Empire in modern-day Iraq, archaeologists unearthed something extraordinary in the mid-19th century, a royal archive of over 30,000 clay tablets. This vast collection, now known as the Library of Ashurbanipal, dates to the 7th century BC and is widely regarded as the oldest known organized library in human history. Assembled by King Ashurbanipal, a ruler known as much for his scholarly pursuits as his military might, the library aimed to preserve the knowledge of Mesopotamia. It contained texts on medicine, astronomy, religion, rituals, literature, and even divination. Among its most famous holdings was a fragmented version of the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the earliest known works of literature. Written primarily in cuneiform script on clay tablets, the documents were preserved thanks to the fiery destruction of Nineveh in 612 BC. Ironically, the flames that consumed the city baked the tablets, helping to protect them for millennia. Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. The Library of Ashurbanipal offers a priceless window into the intellectual life of the ancient world. It showed that ancient Mesopotamians not only kept records but also valued the systematic preservation and transmission of knowledge. This discovery reshaped our understanding of early civilizations, proving that thousands of years before Greek philosophers, there existed a structured and literate culture documenting everything from epic poetry to medical diagnoses. It also set a precedent for future libraries, marking the moment when human memory first took organized, written form. Now we ascend to the icy heights of the Andes once again, where a young girl, perfectly preserved, lies frozen in time. 10. The Ice Maiden of Yayaco, a frozen Inca offering. In 1999, at a staggering altitude of 6,739 meters, 22,110 feet, near the summit of Mount Yayaco, straddling the border of Argentina and Chile, archaeologists made a chilling discovery, both literally and figuratively. Inside a ceremonial platform carved into the mountain's peak, they found the mummified body of a young Inca girl, seated in a fetal position, her skin, hair, and clothing astonishingly preserved by the freezing temperatures. Dubbed the Yayaco Maiden, She was around 13 to 15 years old and had been sacrificed as part of the Capacocha ritual, a sacred ceremony in which children of noble birth were chosen to be messengers to the gods. Alongside her were 2 younger children and offerings such as figurines, textiles, and food. Scientific analysis revealed she had been carefully prepared for months before her death, fattened, drugged with coca leaves and alcohol, then gently placed to die in her sleep from exposure. The preservation was so exceptional that researchers could examine her internal organs, stomach contents, blood, and even her last meal, offering an intimate glimpse into her final days and the ceremonial practices of the Inca elite. Why it stands among the greatest archaeological discoveries. The Ice Maiden of Unearthed is not just an archaeological find, it is a human life, paused and presented across time. Her near-perfect preservation offers an unprecedented view into Inca religious life, high-altitude ritual practices, and the emotional weight of ceremonial sacrifice. Beyond artifacts and architecture, this discovery resonates deeply because it connects us directly to the ancient people behind the culture, reminding us of the complex blend of devotion, fear, and reverence that shaped civilizations. This completes our journey through 10 of the greatest archaeological discoveries ever made. If you'd like to continue exploring more stories, mysterious, controversial, or lesser known, just say the word, and we'll dive deeper into the lost chapters of human history.